Hey, what's up guys? Small disclaimer before we start today's video. If you have not completed the main story, do not watch this video. This video is about New Game Plus. Disclaimer over. This is my guide on how I maxed out everything that you can do with New Game Plus, including getting all 24 powers to level 10. To start New Game Plus, you're going to have to travel to the lodge first, same as every other run. Whenever you get to the lodge, there is a chance that your universe will be different, although the chance is very low, so this is probably what you're going to be dealing with most of the time, travelling to the lodge and then just talking to Sarah like normal. It will then give you the option whether you want to repeat the main story or not. Just for this and for the sake of ease, we're just going to skip the main mission by selecting the option that just says skip main quest. After talking to Sarah, recruit Vasco and Sarah to your crew, because Vasco is very helpful with the shields and you're going to want Sarah following you around to make life easier later down the line. Make sure to recruit them to your ship as well, because they'll just make your systems better. After you're done in Constellation recruiting everybody you can, go to the Eye and talk to Vladimir. Don't worry too much about the dialogue options, they all basically mean the exact same thing. He'll give you the locations of the artifacts, he'll say they're in different places, but every single time I've done this they're in the exact same place. Before you leave the Eye, turn around and talk to Vladimir again. He'll give you the location of the next temple, or the first temple of the run. With 24 powers to get to level 10, there are 240 temples to do, so I hope you enjoy doing temples. If you do the temple first, you will have to deal with a Starborn after the temple with no weapons, apart from whatever random weapons Sarah gives you. So it's much better to do at least one of the artifacts first, so that you have some weapons from just looting the people. This first artifact is just like any of the other outposts that you've done like 100 times before, so it's just get equipment, get some stuff, and you'll be fine. The only thing really of note in this place is if you go through these doors, which you will have to do at some point. Up here through this window, that guy on the left is probably one of the hardest enemies that you have to fight each run. I don't know what is with this guy, but he's just always so strong. So just watch out for this guy and maybe save before you walk into the room. He's not insanely hard, but he can be annoying when you've just started your run and you don't really have any equipment. If you're having trouble with that guy, you can alternatively just sneak past him around here, because you're going to have to go through this vent anyway. This artifact also has a Starborn guarding it, so deal with them as well. I'd say from this point, I would do any temples that you come across, so starting off with the one you got from Vladimir. Do any of these fights that you come across as well, because you get ship parts and you need them. If you find any other temples apart from the mission you get from Vladimir, do these ones first. You will save yourself a lot of trouble doing it this way. While you are landing on a planet, always look in the background for if you can see the temple. Just being able to see the temple is far better than trying to search for it with a scanner. Whilst landed in third person, you can also use your ship as a vantage point where the camera is, so you can see the temples right there. So just remember which direction it is and just run in a straight line towards it. The way that I've come up with to get to the temple in the fastest way is to use one of these quantum essences. Although if you haven't gotten Grav Dash to at least like 4 or 5, then it would probably be a lot better to use the personal atmosphere and just run there and use any amps that you have. Although if you're on PC, you can bind your jump key to a separate key and then just boost forward, which I couldn't do because I'm playing on Xbox. Hooray. I do think though that the Grav Dash and Quantum Essence is still faster than just boosting forward. It's also slightly faster if you just jump over this wall that slowly descends. And now we come to the floating orbs. Doing this 240 times literally drove me insane. My top tips for doing this is to go around the middle in a circle and just slowly go through all of them you can, because if you boost like that, most of the time you'll just miss it or it won't register. So just slowly go through it, and do not get annoyed if some of them disappear right before you get to it. I am pretty sure they do that on purpose. After completing the temple, you'll next have to fight a Starborn. You can just probably avoid them, but it's best to fight them and get the Quantum Essence. You'll need it for later. I'll also show you why it's important to do the temples as you're in the system. You'll see I'm not able to fast travel to this one, which is very annoying when you can't remember what system they're in. But I'm still in the system that I got it, so I know that it's here. And I also know that it's specifically this moon because it happens a lot. And that's basically it for all of the temples. The rest of the temples are exactly the same. There will be 14 temples to do before you get to the buried temple. I'll now quickly go over the rest of the artifacts. A lot of them are pretty similar, but some of them are slightly different. This one is just mostly enemies, but you can just run past them. There's only like 10 of them, and you can just go straight into the cave and pick up the artifact. There's not even a starborn in this one, the second one. The third artifact is also an outpost full of enemies. Go through it and find the artifact. This artifact is being defended by a starborn. Artifact number 4 is another outpost full of enemies. This artifact has no starborn. Artifact 5 is running for 10 minutes.
I used to keep my suit walks short until I learned you can go to the bathroom in these things.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
Once you reach the cave, it's basically just a lot of running inside. There are some turrets, but you can just run straight past them. They're not worth the time. What you want to do is you run past this turret, jump all the way down, through past this turret, in between this little triangle hole, and there'll be a left and a right turn. What you want to do is, instead of going left and right, you want to go straight into the rocks. There's actually a hole here that you can't see. That's where you have to go. Only redeeming quality of this one is that there's another starborn to fight. The 6th and final artifact is another outpost full of enemies. There is no starborn in this one, although there is stinky water. The reason we have Sarah with us is because we have to now talk to her and then fast travel to talk to the hunter and the emissary. At this point, you choose whether you want to side with the hunter or the emissary. If you choose to side with the hunter, you get a particle weapon at the end of the game. If you choose to side with the emissary, you get a laser weapon at the end of the game. Although, you're mostly not going to be using them because you'll go into the Unity pretty soon afterwards anyway. You can choose to go against both of them, but it's just a lot better to have that extra help, so choose one of them. Before you get to the buried temple, there will be 14 temples that you can discover. For me, it's said 4 undiscovered temples, although it also said that by the end of the game when I had gotten all of the temples, so I don't think this is working properly. If you are on your first New Game Plus, or maybe even your second or third, I would suggest that you don't use the Starborn ship. Instead, upgrade the Frontier to a better ship, because the first 3 Starborn ships are just not that good. 5 and 6 are at least usable. You will also want to go back to the lodge and recruit as many people as you can to help with your ship systems. However, do keep in mind, to be able to recruit this many people to your ship, you will need ship command up to at least rank 2. Be prepared for this battle, because it is quite hard. The only real advice I could give for actually trying to do this battle is to just go for the smaller ships first and then go for the main ship. Once you get down to the planet, you want a quick save when you get to probably about here, because you'll be fighting your first Starborn. For this battle, you want to find as much cover as you can, use your abilities, and on each one of these pillars there are containers with meds. After you've dealt with this guy, you want to continue down the path into the buried temple. I'd maybe quick save at this point just to be safe, but this battle isn't too challenging because there's loads of cover and there's only one person you have to fight. They do resurrect these ecliptic soldiers, but they're not a problem, especially after a few new games. Once you defeated him, you'll head inside, deeper into the buried temple. If you walk along here, you can go straight to the next battle if you go to the left here. However, if you go to the right, there are some digipicks on this shelf, as well as a lot of ammo inside of here that you might want to get if you need ammo. You'll also come across your first anomaly. This one's pretty easy. You just run up the path and into the exit. Once you're out, you're now going to fight 2 of these guys, as well as a lot of turrets and robots. However, if you go across this bridge, you can pick this door, and then once that's done, you'll head inside and pick this computer as well. And then for both the robots and the turrets, you want to update the friend or foe status and reallocate the friend-foe settings. So basically, they'll just kill the Starborn for you. When you defeat the last Starborn, they'll drop a key. But you can also go up here, where there will be another key on a safe. and you can use this key to get into this room where there is some more ammo. And to get out of this room, you'll want to head down the stairs and into this orange door. Traveling this way, you'll come across another anomaly. This one will be the collector's place. No matter what you say to this guy, he'll fight you, so just start the fight. You also like to put the collector's outfit on because it has 20 damage resistance, which is pretty good for an apparel. Go through the door and leave the anomaly. The final anomaly is on this elevator. When you get in here, you can talk to Vladimir, although you can just hold backwards and you'll be out of it in like 2 seconds. Continuing down the elevator, there'll be loads of guns and ammo. However, the most important thing is to pick up the medicine in the medicine box, because there is a hippolata in there that will increase your persuasion chance. Before you go into the next area, unequip whatever weapon you have. This just makes the fight a bit easier. You do this because the starborn in here will duplicate you, and whatever weapon you have equipped, the duplicate will have equipped, and if you have your fists equipped, they'll just stand there and do nothing. But that doesn't matter too much anyway, because you're just going to avoid all of these duplicates and instead equip the power sense star stuff. I can see him already, I know he's over there, but if you use the power, it will put a quest mark above him and he's a lot easier to see. You can do this anytime. This guy is also more or less the final person that you have to fight. After this guy, you'll be heading into the buried temple itself and confronting whoever you've chosen to confront. If you want the weapon, you do have to defeat them, although I would almost always just choose the persuasion option and save your game before this, because loading the save after you failed a persuasion attempt is a lot faster than doing the entire battle with them, and it's just a lot easier. When you're done persuading them, they'll give you the artifacts, and then the other person that you're with, you'll talk to and they'll give you the artifacts, and you'll take the final artifact and be teleported outside. I have seen a lot of people from this point will get in their ship and just go straight to the next Unity. However, even though it doesn't tell you in the missions, you can actually go to Vladimir and get more temples. To do this, you want to fast travel to the lodge, not the eye. You want to fast travel straight to the lodge, because that's where he will be. When you arrive at the lodge, you will get the mission. However, the mission will tell you, if you click on it, that Vladimir is on the eye. Do not travel to the eye, he's not there. He will be at the lodge in about like 5 seconds. You can just stand here and wait. And I don't mean wait in game, I mean just wait. Look, he's right there. And then you talk to him and you do your missions like normal to do the rest of the temples. After the first 14, and then the buried temple counts as one, you will have 9 more temples to do before travelling through the Unity. After you've done all 24 temples in a new game, you won't get the mission anymore, and then you can finally travel. Although, it may still say you have undiscovered temples. Don't worry about this, it says that for me anyway. You can see here, there's 13 undiscovered temples. That's because for me, 4 of them are bugged, and I know there are 9 more, because I only have 9 more powers that aren't level 10. Then you go back to the grind and do 9 more temples. If you have completed the buried temple, and Vladimir is no longer giving you temples, there are no more in the universe. My final tip is to hard save the game. Either do it before you power up your grav drive, or before you walk into the Unity itself, when you're in that weird like magic screen. My game has crashed like 3 times after the credits. It's very annoying. The most you can get out of New Game Plus is you can go through New Game Plus 6 times to get the Starborn Mark 6. You can go through 10 times to get your armor to the 10th iteration, which is the best, and 9 times is the minimum, including your original universe, which would be 10, to get all of the powers to level 10. Those 3 things are everything you can get from New Game Plus. If you save the game before you go into the Unity, this also means that every single time you go into the game, your suit of armor will have different legendary effects, so you can keep reloading until you get the legendary effects you want, as well as the alternate universe you want. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helps you get through the slog.
Thank you for watching.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.
bye, bye.